My fellow Jamaicans, Workers' Week and the Labor Day 2021 find us still in the grip of the pandemic. Consequently, the overall theme, safeguarding our labor force amid COVID-19, is particularly relevant. In July 2020, almost 5 months after our first coronavirus case, employment fell by an estimated 135,000 jobs compared to July 2019. As at January 2021, 74,300 jobs had been lost compared to January 2020. While this shows that there is some recovery taking place as the economy adapts to the pandemic, we are still some way off from recovering all the jobs we have lost and creating net new jobs above pre-pandemic levels. These statistics do not convey the full sense of dislocation and hardship being experienced on a human level by those 74,000 persons who have been without income, faced with bills and families to feed. Nevertheless, and despite a fall off in public revenues of 76 billion Jamaican dollars, the government has managed the public finances in such a way as to ensure that job security and income of public sector workers have not been adversely affected during the pandemic. The government also responded with a comprehensive 20 billion care program of social support to assist the vulnerable and those who have lost their jobs and income. This provided relief and support to approximately 50,000 Jamaican workers for a 9-month period. In addition, approximately 500,000 Jamaicans received direct cash transfers. Never before has any administration responded to a crisis in such a comprehensive, efficient, transparent, accountable, and equitable way. However, government cannot carry a social support program indefinitely with falling revenues. We must get our economy back on track and our people back to work. That is why we have announced the 60 billion social and economic recovery and vaccination program for Jamaica, the SERVE program, which will provide the foundation for the country's economic revival. Already, we are seeing the positive effects on economic recovery for countries that have attained high levels of vaccinations. We cannot afford to be left behind. We will be spending over $30 billion on infrastructure, including the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, which will mobilize local labor and skills. We will be spending $10.5 billion in special resources on health, including $6 billion on vaccines to ensure that our workers are healthy and develop immunity to the coronavirus. We will be spending $5 billion on support for micro, small, and medium-sized businesses to ensure that they can withstand the economic ravages of the pandemic and continue to create the jobs and income for those 74,000 persons and their families who may be without jobs and income. We will be spending $8.1 billion in additional care and social well-being support for the vulnerable and those unable to work and earn an income. We will be spending $1.7 billion for rural farm roads and productivity incentives to boost agricultural employment and production. We will be spending $1.8 billion to expand Wi-Fi and broadband in schools and communities, especially the rural areas, so that our children can get access to online education and our workers can work remotely where necessary and practical. Economic recovery is in the best interest of labor. We must rapidly implement our highway and infrastructure construction projects, our broadband access projects, and support our businesses to return to full productivity. We must also get vaccinated as soon as vaccines are available, and it is your turn. This will ensure that we all can go back to work safely and earn an income. You know, historically, our Jamaican workers have been very vocal and assertive in defending their interests. As workers, we must reject all those who seem to have no genuine interest in our speedy economic recovery and would seek to delay our infrastructure development and discourage us from taking vaccines. They do not have the workers' interests, your interest, at heart. Now, Labor Day is a time in which we recognize and celebrate the contribution of the worker and the labor struggle to national development. It is significant that Workers' Week this year coincides with the execution of the Right Excellent Sam Sharp, national hero, on May 23, 1832, which was precipitated by the 1831 Sam Sharp War. I must seize the opportunity to recognize and salute our workers who continue to display resilience and determination during this pandemic. Those whose daily sacrifices have ultimately been responsible for the safety and security of our communities. I speak of our first responders, our law enforcement officers, essential service providers, and many others. We recognize and thank every single one of you. You have all helped us to navigate the worst of the pandemic, and we are immeasurably grateful. We celebrate the contribution of Labor Day to national development by promoting collective engagement on behalf of the wider worker community. This year, Labor Day will be celebrated on Monday, May 24th, and it will indeed be different. With an all-day curfew, it is a no-movement day. Therefore, we will not be able to carry out the many community projects traditionally linked to the day. We, however, invite Jamaicans to be creative and carry out activities around their homes under the theme, Promoting a Clean and Healthy Environment. I invite us to focus on cleaning up and beautifying our homes and surroundings. We encourage you this Labor Day to stay home, stay safe, and clean up your space. Happy Workers' Week, happy Labor Day, as Jamaica looks forward to a speedy, stronger, and fair recovery.